Drawn James here. Drawn James here. Can we get the AI co-host LeDron James in here for a second?
Yeah, can we make this quick? Because I got a lot going on.
Okay, LeDron James, you do this kind of like businessy intro where you're like, Drawn James here. Drawn James here. Can you give us an example of that?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, Drawn James here. Drawn James here.
Okay, right. That sounds very businessy and kind of like no nonsense. How did you develop that?
Wow, powerful question there. It's just kind of from being in the business world a lot where you just kind of had to cut through the bullshit, so Drawn James here. That's what you end up with. Drawn James here.
Fascinating. What kind of business were you in?
Just the kind of the business of being myself and doing my thing,
Okay, that's LeDron James with another one. Thank you, LeDron James. Yeah, cut him off. Don't let him come back into the chat, and make sure he's not setting up new accounts or anything.
Free and Robbie in a dream. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
Wireless pagers
Whoa,
have
hey,
simultaneously...
start again, Bobby.
Wireless pagers have simultaneously exploded across Lebanon in a coordinated attack that caused hundreds of injuries and several deaths, according to health officials. These attacks come a day after Israeli leaders warned that they were considering stepping up their attacks against Hezbollah. Hezbollah says this is the biggest security breach in its war with Israel.
Oh my God.
The world is waiting for diplomatic reaction. Reports show hundreds or thousands of these pagers used by alleged Hezbollah fighters all simultaneously exploded. It's possible that bystanders certainly have been or could be injured as a result of this. Imagine if you're driving your car with your pager in your pockets and you're going to crash the car. Innocent people who are going to be harmed as a result of this. Seems to me that it's going to be a significant, a large number.
Yeah, it's true, buddy.
That's going to be hard to justify to a lot of people.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Okay, guys. Usually this is a funny show, kinda. Okay, some people disagree with that. Some liars disagree with that. But usually this show's pretty wacky. LeDron James comes on, makes an absolute fool of himself. But this is not a funny story. This is what we call a crazy story. And as I'm recording this, more and more information is coming out about this. None of it's good. And actually, for once in his life, I'm going to give Bobby Bree a little bit of a hard time here. For once in his life, he's right about something. I think Bobby there is right. This is going to create a lot of blowback, a lot more problems. But anyway, the part of the story that I kind of stumbled upon that's way less important but moderately interesting is this here. I can't understand. Right. So yeah, as of the time of this recording, CNN and the New York Times are already saying, yeah, this was an Israeli intelligence thing. They put explosive in these beepers. And I was reading through these articles and the name of a company came up. What is this stupid company called? Gold Apollo. They're in Taiwan and they were like, we got to get into the beeper business. And who knows what's going to come out of this part? This part might be less reported because it's frankly not as important. Sorry. But now everybody's paying attention to this company that makes beepers in Taiwan. And this is the founder of the company. He's like, we didn't make those. We didn't make those. We make some, not those. All right. Okay. We let someone else use the, what is it? A Gold Apollo name. Ooh, the world-renowned Gold Apollo. Okay. Okay, in other news, do we have a graphic for that? We don't. Okay.
In other news, I said, in other news.
Okay, in other news, some guy was going to try to shoot former President Trump.
It's weird.
And this guy figured out how to stop this kind of thing. What is he? Is this some kind of a senator or something? Okay, let's check this out.
Some of these tweets I have here from some of our so-called politicians. And then you got people like Hillary Clinton.
Hey, you're frozen,
George
man.
Clooney, Joy Reid, Robert De Niro, wannabe politicians, and it's time for them to shut up. Because somebody is going to...
Oh, wait, why? What's going to happen?
George Clooney, Joy Reid, Robert De Niro, wannabe politicians, and it's time for them to shut up. Because somebody is going to get killed other than the fireman that got killed already in
Okay, this genius right here figured it out. George Clooney, Robert De Niro, shut the hell up. I'm sure this guy's really busy doing a lot of great things for the people of whatever. But I hope he comes up with a bill that George Clooney and The George Clooney and Robert De Niro shutting up act of 2024. Okay, one more quick thing here. This guy's name is PBD, and
This is a human man.
he's a human man who goes like this.
You're about to be value-tained.
He's doing like a live election night show, and check this out. There's some barriers to entry to his show. Check this out.
It's going to be wild. It's going to be insane.
Hell
It'll
yeah,
be
bro.
a lot of fun, creativity, craziness. But here's the thing.
A lot of creativity.
To attend it, you're going to have to buy a ticket to go to it, obviously. The tickets are not going to be, vault type of tickets where you're spending, 15, 20, 25K. We're not talking that.
Oh, thank God. The tickets are not going to be $25,000 to see you going like this.
It'll be lower amount tickets that we're doing. However,
but
barrier to enter. When you come in, you have to wear Future Looks Bright gear. We want the room to be filled with people wearing Future Looks Bright.
That's great. It's not enough for you to buy tickets to my stupid show where I'm droning on about God knows what. You gotta buy my clothes, too. Hey, we're not letting... You bought a ticket, we're not letting you in. Let me check the gear. Let me check that gear. Can you do that?
Today's teenagers are more digitally connected than ever,
Prove
using
it.
not only smartphones and social media.
And just like you may monitor your child's activity on their phones, districts
Wait. What's that guy's voice? Just like the... Okay, sorry. He didn't deserve that.
And just like you may monitor your child's activity on their phones,
Exactly.
districts are now using software to monitor their school-issued devices, too.
Right.
And if anything, the use of these AI systems to surveil students has actually expanded from just being used in real time to detect things like cheating to being used 24/7, 365 days a year to detect things from potential mental health crises to cyberbullying. And there are a bunch of companies that offer these types of services to schools in different varieties of packages, but I'm going to focus on a company called Gaggle for most of this video because it's one of the more well-known companies.
Okay. You're gonna have to let me talk. I never heard of it. Right.
But now students and parents are growing apprehensive and say that the constant monitoring might be causing more harm than good.
I also think that there's a lot of questions to be asked about the dictionary of keywords that Gaggle has cultivated in order to flag concerning content, because one of the things that is in it are LGBTQ plus terms, so lesbian and gay are part of this dictionary. And this actually resulted in a Minneapolis student being outed to their parents without their consent. Gaggle says they include these. I think the other thing for me with these types of systems is that it's not actually clear to me that these have helped all that much. So when I was doing the research for this video, and I should say now, if anyone wants to do more digging on this topic, if somebody wants to go FOIA someone, if that's the appropriate thing to do, please do. I would...
Okay, fine, I will. You win. What is the lady's name? Jordan. This is kind of an interesting thing that I never really thought about. Monitoring kids in school.
Ooh, with AI.
Ooh, AI. When I hear that, I say, ooh, that's technical.
Ooh, AI. When I hear that, I say, ooh, that's technological. I get very worked up.
I start going like this. And then, frankly, I'm not trying to make a big deal about it, but I go like this. But this is kind of a big deal, and I wanted to use today's tech check. Today's technology check to look at digital surveillance of school children. We'll be right back, right now. Okay, this is kind of a wacky intro to this story. This is a website. Oh, this is some kind of a website. It's is that students make it. What the hell is it called? The Budget. Student journalism at Lawrence High. I think this is in Kansas. Anyway, who cares?
Okay.
Art students push back against potential Gaggle, that's the AI thing, censorship. New AI program deleting images, work from student accounts. Here's a quote from this student journalism. These students going like this. I had to explain in detail every single photo, some kid said. It's definitely made me conscious about what I'm creating and what issues it could provoke with administration. It's a very adult-sounding kid, which I don't think should be an issue that we have to worry about, especially when we're creating it for ourselves, portfolios or colleges. Yeah, so this is kind of a funny illustration of the, downside, dystopian nature of these AI surveillance things, is that this was like a photography, like a photography class or group at the school. And the AI surveillance just went through and said it's nudity. And it just started deleting their photos. Then the principal or whatever, You know, some guy who probably doesn't even want to be there. He's like, hey, get your asses in here. You know, the principal's like, get the hell in here. Get into the principal's office. And he's like, look, the computer said of nudity.
The robots that are watching you said of nudity.
Oh my god, like the job of being a high school principal couldn't get any worse. Now you're like, hey, the robot told me.
The robot police told me of nudity in the school.
The kids are like, what the hell?
A robot on the computer told...
All the kids who do portraits were flagged and went to the office. It's so interesting, some kid said. In my stuff, I don't see it getting flagged as something, let alone something sexual.
It means these people are perverts.
I know someone who solely does landscape stuff who was brought in, and the principal went like this to him. Besides students' work being deleted from the drives it flagged, many student artists now believe they are under AI surveillance state.
She spit on them. It's weird.
With Gaggle's watchful and inconsistent eyes deciding what could potentially flag them as an artist. When the district buys this, it makes people a little bit afraid, kind of like Big Brother is watching. I think there's a little bit better ways to deal with that, some kid at the school said. Some little turd. Some little puke. No, I'm just kidding. These kids actually sound pretty mature. Way more mature than I was at this age. I was going like this. At this age, I was going like this. Okay, one more quote here. Okay, sorry. For young, impressionable students, seeing from both Gaggle and society that a shoulder is enough to be flagged sends mixed messages to these artists. For this specific project, it was centered on the feminine gaze and the sexualization of the female body. Who are these kids? These kids are way too smart. You know what? I changed my mind. Gaggle should be doing this to them. They're way too smart. Then it's funny that it got gaggled for like nudity and pornography. I mean, that's true. That's a good point from this kid who I am their elder, so they shut the hell up. When I'm speaking, they need to shut the hell up. They're probably way smarter than me. But this is true. It's a good point. This is like the classic old school type of censorship, you know, censoring artistic expression. But also another thing that this does that these kids are kind of mentioning is it is teaching them that it's normal to be surveilled all the time. You know, so maybe when you grow up and you go to work at a place that's like scanning your eyes all the time to make sure you're not like looking anywhere else but like spreadsheets on the computer, you know, then you get one of these. That's normal. Okay, what the hell does this say right here? A recent comprehensive RAND research study shows that such AI monitoring software may cause more harm than good. Okay, so then why the hell are they still using these things? Experts suggest it's because these supposed technical solutions are easier to implement than the effective social measures that schools often lack resources to implement. Oh, shocking. Oh, that makes me go like this. This reporter spoke with some lady, a public health consultant, who has experience working with schools to implement mental health supports. She pointed out that there are considerable barriers to families, kids, and youth accessing healthcare and mental health supports at a community level. Yeah, so I read some of the studies that they did on these systems, these AI surveillance systems in schools, and they all kind of come to the conclusion like, yeah, stuff gets flagged, and then like the principal comes in, he's like, what the hell is this? And they don't really know what to do. Like, they don't really have the resources to even deal with something that comes up. A lot of the times they're just like, I guess we'll call the police. And then the police come and they're like, should I kill that kid? No, don't kill the kid. No, I know, I was kidding. That was a joke, man, come on. Sorry. And that's kind of the big, like, selling point from the company that makes this software. They're like, we're catching kids in mental health crisis, and then we can help them. But what these schools are saying is like, we don't really have the resources to even help them when this stuff gets flagged. And that's kind of the bigger picture. That's kind of like the disturbing thing about all this AI surveillance stuff is like instead of just dealing with these problems like in the schools, like investing, you know, instead of having like good public healthcare and good public schools and all this, they're just like, let it kind of fall out apart. We'll just like track their every move for $160,000. That's a scary bigger picture thing about this is that seems like that's going to be more and more the solution to problems. It's just, you know, we'll let all these problems get out of control, and then we'll just put cameras on people. We'll go like this. And we'll go like this. Ooh, let's check this out. This is some guys who do, what the hell is this? Watching private, whoa, 281 subscribers. Okay, nobody's watching this. But one of these guys, it sounds like his kid goes to a school where they use this stuff. Let's check out what these guys have to say.
Blurb with the export that took place. But it says that tools like Gaggle have become ubiquitous in classrooms across the country,
right?
According to the forthcoming research by DC-based Center for Democracy and Technology. In a recent survey, 81% of teachers reported having such software in place in their schools. Though most students said they're comfortable being monitored, 58% said they don't share their true thoughts or ideas as a result.
Right.
And 80% said they are more careful about what they search for online.
Oh, okay.
So once again, we're, this stuff, it's controlling.
So they adapt to it.
Kids in the way that kids are, remember when we were kids, we weren't afraid of, maybe that was naivety, but we just weren't afraid of our every move.
We weren't afraid to go like this.
We weren't afraid of, maybe that was naivety, but we just weren't afraid of our every move being documented,
right,
and kind of used against us and shared with all sorts of third-party companies.
Right.
We have nothing.
Those are two interesting points too that I didn't think about. If kids in school know that a robot is policing them all the time, probably gonna self-censor a little bit. They're trying to, maybe the stuff you're trying to catch. But also, that guy's right. Who knows what they're gonna do with this information from kids? Who they're gonna sell it to? What the hell they're gonna do with it? That's just some weird private company. Who knows?
But anyway, guys, there we go. A look at something that I didn't even know. I didn't even know it existed.
That I didn't know existed, and that I didn't know.
It's weird.
But guys, it's Wednesday. That is not. Wednesday needs to pick a side. Are you the weekend or the beginning? Wednesday's trying to be this weird little neutral party. Pick a side. Hey, listen to me, you concept. But anyway, guys, hope you're having a good, again, pick a side Wednesday. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Tractor systems are offline. Number one for today's hits and all-time favorites.
Drawn James here with Drawn FM at the top of the hour here. I'll be taking your calls, but before we get to that, new from the Ice Cream Brothers, I Saw a Dog Driving a Car.
I saw a dog driving a car, it's not a lie. Why won't anyone believe what I saw with my eye? I called the police and they kicked me out the door. Now there's dogs on the highway, it is RAV4.
That was the Ice Cream Brothers with I Saw a Dog Driving a Car. Let's go to some calls. We got a call on line one here. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Dron, can you hear me? Is this me?
I can't hear you. Turn your radio down.
Yeah, Dron. Hey, why don't you shut the hell up with all this music stuff and talk about sports?
Okay, hang up on this guy. God, I can't deal with these people anymore. To that guy, oh, you want a sport? How about long distance shutting the hell up? Ooh, owned. Drawn FM. Next up, we got, a great new group. They're called The Man Asked Me a Hard Question.
Tractor systems are offline. Number one for today's hits and all-time favorites.